guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you don't already know me, my name is Savannah, and today we are going to be talking about my favorite dog product, the Flexi or retractable leash. Now that is total sarcasm. Today I'm going to go through the reasons why you should get rid of your retractable leash and why it's actually really dangerous. The only reason I have this retractable leash is that our newest rescue dog Boomer actually came with it. Now the thought of Boomer being on a retractable leash is actually terrifying to me. One, he's a puller, so if you don't do the proper technique to get him not to pull, he's gonna pull till the very end of this flexi leash. And two, he's also a very reactive dog. So he will react to cars going by, he'll run and jump and try to chase them, or he is also very reactive to other dogs. So if he sees another dog on a retractable leash, he is going to pull and bark and go crazy all the way to the end of this. So I have never used Boomer on this retractable leash as it terrifies me way too much. If you've never seen a retractable leash before, the clip is on the end here where you attach it to their collar. You hold on to this handle part and this pulls out as the dog pulls. On the top here there is a stop, so if they're pulling you can stop it, they don't pull anymore. And then there is also a lock here, so say you want to let out this much line, stop it and lock it. They can't pull any further than this. This one is by Flexi. That's why in the beginning I said either retractable or Flexi. The Flexi brand seems to be the most popular among retractable leashes. This one goes out 16 feet. I'm going to insert a clip of how far this goes out compared to a regular leash. It's insane. Some of these retractable leashes go out up to 26 feet. That is a long distance between you and your dog. Okay, so I just want to show you guys kind of a visual of how much longer a retractable leash is than a normal leash. Cory isn't home right now to help me with this, so I just have the Flexi leash, the clip part around the banister here. So you see here, this is a normal dog leash. This is a 5-foot dog leash that most people would use to walk their dog. Now what I'm gonna do is pull out this retractable leash and show you how much longer it is than a standard leash. This is a 15-foot retractable leash. And I think we're getting closer to the end here. Yep, this is the end. So this is where it stops. And where that banister is where your dog would be. So if they got in a fight way over there, you are screwed. Let's get started getting into some of my points of why this type of leash is dangerous. The first big one on my list is injuries caused by these leashes to both the handler, yourself, people walking beside you, or the dog you are walking. When this pulls out, it has this small little string here. If this gets wrapped around a finger, a leg, your dog's leg, and they pull, if you Google online retractable leash injuries, there have been burns, cuts, and even amputations. These things have pulled off fingers. That is terrifying. The next point that I want to make is that even though this handle is very comfortable to hold, it's also very bulky. So it's easy to be fumbling with it, accidentally drop it, and if your dog is pulling, it's gonna go and hit your dog. On the flip side of this, since it has a very thin cord, a big dog could pull and actually break this, sending some of the parts flying back towards you, and also letting your dog free, and you no longer have control of them. Where I live, there actually is a law of how far your dog can be from you when you are walking them. So when a retractable leash can go out 26 feet, most places that doesn't follow bylaws. Since the retractable leash keeps just going out and out and out until you lock it, if your dog decides to wrap itself around your legs and it gets tangled and you're not able to wrap it in time and you're dealing with this thin little cord, it is definitely a tripping hazard to both you, your dog, and people around you. Another thing that is scary is that how do we know this isn't going to malfunction? That the stop is always going to work work, that the lock for the stop, if you always do have it locked, is gonna work. It could malfunction and a horrible situation could happen. Something else about the retractable leashes is that it doesn't teach proper walking skills. We should be teaching our pets to be walking loose leash beside us, but when they are on a flexi leash and they have all this room to keep going and going, it is actually teaching them to pull. Every time they pull, they get a little bit more lead, a little bit more lead, a little bit more lead. So that's just teaching them that when they do pull, they get rewarded with moving forward quicker. I want to touch a little bit about what I kind of said about Boomer. Since he is a reactive dog, it is very unsafe for him to be on a retractable leash. If he sees another dog and he's going to start barking and growling and running towards that other dog, if I'm not able to put the stop on in time, or if the stop malfunctions, that could be very bad. He could attack another dog, or on the flip side, if you do have a very well-behaved dog, you don't know that all other dogs are friendly. It just takes one mistake, not pressing this, or it malfunctioning for there to be a dog fight or potentially a dead dog or person. When a situation does arise where maybe something is going wrong and you need to take control of the situation when they're on a retractable leash, if your dog is 15 feet out from you, this is what it looks like. They're 15 feet out, say this is way out there, and you need to get your dog to come towards you. If they're freaking out at the end of this leash and they're not listening to you, getting them back towards you looks something like this. You have to pull the leash, let go of your stop, stop it. Pull the leash more, let go of the stop, stop it until they come to you. That takes a lot of time. If they were on a normal leash that's only about 5 feet in front of you, it's stuck in a normal lock position, you could just pull them towards you quickly and be in control of the situation. Something else that is concerning about the retractable leash is that the leash does stop at a certain point. So if your dog decides to run ahead and it finally hits the very end of the leash, they get a sudden jerk on their neck, which there has been reported injuries and problems with the trachea on dogs where this has happened to before, so that's also very dangerous for them as well. Again, going back to how bulky this handle is, I want to talk about dogs that are more skittish. If you are walking your dog and you accidentally drop this on the ground and your dog is skittish, what may happen is that your dog may get scared of the sound and they're going to try to run away from it. Now, this is pretty big, especially compared to a small dog. So when they start running and this is attached to them, it keeps moving along them. So you have this cycle of them trying to run away from the big scary thing, but the big scary thing is attached to them and chasing them. This could potentially lead to them running into traffic because they're so scared or getting lost. The very last point that I want to make is lots of people say that they use retractable leashes because their dog is trustworthy. It never pulls to the very end of the line. It doesn't chase anything, so they're not worried about it. They don't have to use their stop. They're using the retractable leash so their dog can have a little bit more freedom if they want to veer off a little bit and smell a tree, and that's all great. But the thing is that a dog is a dog is a dog. You can't always predict what they're going to do or what is going to happen in a situation. I saw a post on Facebook a while ago, and I wish I could find it, but I haven't been able to. But she was talking about how she had a very well-trained dog that she always walked on a retractable leash. He was walking beside her, and a rabbit happened to be running down the road. Now, her dog has never reacted before, but in that split second, he did react. He pulled and was running towards the rabbit, and since he was on a flexi leash, he had a lot of line to go with. And right as he ran out behind a car, and a car turned onto the street and hit him. So just because you think your dog is predictable and you can control him doesn't actually mean that's the case, but that's the reality of the flexi and the retractable leashes, is that you just do not have proper control over your dog. So if you do have a retractable leash, I encourage you to consider switching to just a normal leash where you have a lot more control over your dog and the peace of mind. I know that now there's lots of vet clinics and grooming salons that don't let you enter with a retractable leash just for the safety in their clinics and salons. they will offer an alternative leash while your dog is staying there. And when I go to my clients' houses, if a retractable leash is handed to me, I also put on my own leash as well, because I don't want to be responsible for a dog running into traffic, getting hit, or it running towards another dog and getting in a dog fight, and me not being able to have the control needed to take control of the situation. Thank you so much for watching until the end of this video. If you do own a retractable leash, please don't feel bad. Now you're educated and you can change to a normal leash where you can control your pet. If this is a video that you liked, I encourage you to give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below as I make content about dogs. Thanks guys, see you next time.